Right, and so, you know, by the way, if you want to put yourself on a gold standard today, it's really easy to do. You can buy gold very easily from bullion dealers all over the country. You can keep your savings in gold, and when you have to go spend money, you can go to a local pawn shop or a local bullion dealer and cash in a coin every week, and now you've got your spending money.
Yeah, instead of going to the bank to get paper out or to write a check, you're the bank, and then you go cash it in for their confetti at the point, and your gold and silver historically will rise with the devaluation, and so it's saving your value. It's a hedge against inflation. But I appreciate your call, Joe. Great questions. George in Connecticut, you're on the air with our guest.
Yeah, I have a question as far as I'm 59 and a half. Most of my money's in IRAs. I have it in GLD or in hard currency, but you're talking about getting it out of the country before. So what the heck do I do? And I'm almost ready to jump ship and maybe go to Russia. I have an apartment there. My wife's from there. I mean, at least the ruble might be worth something. They have some value.
Well, the problem is they'll shake you down over there, too, Porter.
Well, you know, actually, I don't have any experience of living in Russia, so I can't really talk about that. But I do think that one of the things that I feature on my video is there are 5 different assets that you can own legally outside the country that you don't have to report to the government. And I think it's very important for people to begin to move some assets outside the country, assuming that you are a person of significant wealth. You're going to want to put some of that stuff outside of the reach of these bureaucrats, because as this thing unravels, they're going to tax anything they can find.
And when people get your newsletter, they find out the strategic ideas you've got to safely move something offshore, and you can find out more with the free video at endofamerica3.com. Go ahead, caller. Go ahead, George.
The IRA related to the problem. I mean, that's my complication, where it's all stuck in IRAs. Not easily got, dissolved.
Well, you can do what you want. I'm not going to give advice. I have no IRAs. I would take, personally, the penalty and physically hold. But, Porter, what's your take on that?
Before you do that, I can't give a lot of very useful advice over the phone, and I don't mean to give any particular investment advice to any individual, but there are ways of dealing with your IRA. You should really speak to an asset protection attorney, or you should try reading my newsletter for some details about it. But you can do things like form your own corporation so that you can get control of your IRA. You can put it anywhere you want.
Oh yeah, that's folks do that. Create a corporation, move it into your corporation. Now you've got control of it, and then you can have that corporation convert the IRA, right?
Well, you could just use the corporation to do things like buy real estate overseas, which doesn't have to be reported. There are lots of variations on these things. There are important rules you have to follow if you're going to do anything like that. So please, make sure you speak to a competent attorney. Get some actual advice. Don't just say, I heard a guy say it on the radio, when the IRS comes knocking on your door.
Exactly. This stuff is got to be done exactly right. It's very dangerous. Absolutely. And they're starting to clamp down. I mean, I'll just put it to you this way. Some of John Wayne's family has just left the country.
Yeah, I got to tell you, Alex, I know the very most successful asset protection attorney in the United States, and he is setting up to close his practice because the government is clamping down on all these things, and they're going to not be legal anymore. And then once they're not legal anymore, he can't help you. So if you're going to make a move, I think you've got 12 or 18 months to make it, tops.
Well, some of John Wayne's family has already left because they say that there's a bunch of rules changing this year, correct?
There are rules change. The beginning was the summer of 2008 when they made it against the law for you just to take your assets out of the country without paying taxes on them first, which is actually modeled after a Soviet law from the 1960s. I mean, literally. So and now there are more laws that are going to be taking effect January 1st, 2013. So, these people, they're going to do everything they can to stay in power, and they know the risk of hyperinflation. So what would I do? I would create a subsidiary in the U.S. to run my operation here, but then I'd have to move somewhere and broadcast from there from another subsidiary, I guess the Caymans or something, or they'll completely shut us down. Alex, I'm certainly no expert at this, but I can tell you from where I stand, I have subscribers in more than 150 different countries, and there isn't any subscriber who cares where I'm writing from.
Absolutely. It's so painful to watch this country going into the clutches of hardcore criminals, and to watch the dumbed-down population running around watching sports, getting drunk. They have no idea how bad they're about to get hurt. And then these crooks are going to sick them on any middle-class people left. They're going to tear us apart. It's horrible. Well, Porter Stansberry of Stansberry Research Associates, Stansberry Associates and Investment Research. Amazing information, the free video at endofamerica3.com. Hope folks check into it. I look forward to speaking to you again, sir. Let me say bye to you. During this break coming up, we've got Gerald Salente on the retransmission at Infowars.com today, basically saying the same thing that Mr. Stansberry is saying. It's incredible. So we'll continue to track all this. Sorry to the other callers. I'll be back live tomorrow, 11 a.m. Central. God bless you all. Visit Infowars.com and PrisonPlanet.com. When you're on the site, you can also tune in 24 hours a day to my daily radio broadcast. There's also a free iPhone app to listen to the syndicated radio show when and where you want.